So a friend of mine gave me one of these 3040 routers, and first thing is first, get rid of that garbage. So what I've got going on here is I've got this box which has a breakout board. It's a C11G and it acts as a pass-through. So I've got a smooth stepper sitting over here. It comes into the back, then out to a controller with a G540 in it. Now the reason why I have this here is because I'm not a fan of the G540's inputs and outputs. So this box handles all of the inputs and outputs. And as you can see, we have stepper motor wires, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They all go out to here, and that goes over to the smooth stepper. That works great. I've got a tool probe, which plugs into this headphone jack right here. That's wired in over here to pin 15. This little bundle right here is my home switches, which are 11, 12, and 13 pins. Like I said, this one's 15. And I bought one of these cheap China 500 watt spindles that comes with this controller here. And I've been reading a lot of the reviews on it, and a lot of people are having problems with getting it to work with Mach 3. So basically the way I've got it wired here, the yellow and the red are the mains, so that's 110 volts. The two blue wires come out here to this plug, which comes up here, right here, and that's what powers this. These come with a rheostat potentiometer right here. As you can see, those are all wired in, red, yellow, and black. But what I did was I put a switch on the yellow wire, or the middle one. So what this allows me to do is, if I want to control the spindle manually, and I've just got these labeled here until I get labels for my label maker. I'm going to label all this. Flip this down, it's in automatic. Flip it up, it's in manual. So jumping ahead of myself, so here's on off. And this just comes with a little jumper wire from the factory that's connecting these two. Well, I've got these running over here to a relay on pin 16, if you can read it down there. So the relay will control the spindle turning on and off. And I've got 0 through 10 because it says you can use it here. So I got a PWM coming over here, which is pin 14. So there's my PWM signal. And what this allows me to do is I can control the spindle through Mach 3, or I can come over here, flip this switch up to manual and control it. So if we look here, it says my spindle is on, so this relay is energized. And if I'm in manual, I can turn the knob and the spindle runs. So now if I put it in automatic, I can come over here. I got to turn the spindle off first, and I only run it when I set the spindle speed to 0. So if I tell it to run at 10,000 RPM, or the G code will set a spindle speed, and then I turn it on. So we're set to automatic down here. And if I just click the spindle button on Mach 3, trying to get everything in the frame. So there's that. Click it. You can hear the relay click. So if I come down here and I type MO3S6000, you can see that it clicks on and clicks off. Make that go away, turn spindle off. And if we do that again, just typing it in the MDI line, and you can see the spindle over here just going to town. So the way I've got this set up is, like I said, pin 14 is the PWM signal and pin 16 is the relay. So if we go to config ports and pins, motor outputs, spindles enabled, pin 14, direction pin doesn't matter. I'm sorry about that. So it's enabled, pin 14, step port 1. This can actually be set to 0 and not be a problem. Like I said, this number doesn't matter because there's no port. Alright, so then we go to output signals. I have output 2 set as pin 16. And then when we go into spindle setup, I have output 2 for the relay control for the spindle. And if we look, I've got PWM here. And if you're using a smooth stepper, you have to come over here and turn it on. Oh, wrong window, sorry about that. Config, I have it set for step and direction with a pulse width of 4. And then fine tuning it, you go into motor tuning, go to spindle. And these are just the settings I've been playing around with, trying to dial it in, and I've got it really, really close with these numbers here. I actually get more RPM out of the PWM than I do the potentiometer. The ad says it goes up to 12,000, but I'm not going to push it. I've got like 11.2. So I just wanted to show you that, yes, it will work with Mach 3. Now, if you don't do this with the switch, you can either take all 3 of these out for the potentiometer or just the yellow one. If you just pull the yellow one out, which is all I'm doing is I'm breaking it here, it will work with the PWM signal with these other 2 wires hooked in. Now, if I leave it on automatic, oh wait, where was I going with that? Yeah, if I leave it on automatic, sorry about that, brain fart, cognitive stall, and I turn the spindle on, obviously it's not spinning, and potentiometer does not work. And if I just flip it over to manual, there we go. I hope this helps somebody out there. These things are fun little machines. I don't know why I need another one. Well, yeah, I do know why, because I'm making edge-lit LED signs, and this is going to be another one once I build a box. And what I've done is went and bought a toolbox. I just mocked this up real quick just to be able to work on it. Eventually, I'm going to build an enclosure around it so all the debris, all the chips and stuff stay inside, which is going to basically mimic this setup here. But yeah, I don't know why I need another CNC machine. I got a mill there, a router there, a little mill over there, this one, and I've got one small mill outside as well. But once you take these things and you get rid of that garbage and you put decent stepper drives on these and decent electronics, I'm still even running the original motors, but I'll probably get rid of those eventually too. They actually run really, really smooth. Like I said, I've got home switches, I've got a tool probe sitting on it down there so it can automatically calculate my tool tip length. And this thing is going to be basically running a drag bit engraver, which I've got to make to fit a collet, and using a 1/8 inch end mill to profile out the parts in acrylic. So the spindle is actually going to be running maybe 20 minutes per project, so it's not going to get that much use, so that's why I went with that. I've got the original 200 watt one, but I don't like it, so that's what we got. Anyway, I hope this helps somebody out, like I said. And there's the wiring and the Mach 3 settings. So as long as you know the pin numbers for the PWM in your relay, you set it up, good to go.